Prem Namaste to Prem Namaste to each and every one of you. And thank you from the outset for making this time possible. Bharat Mata is not only leading in the IT revolution, hence we get to communicate online like this, but most certainly after today's interaction and conversation, really it's a conversation about emotional intelligence and us as proud Hindus. How do we understand the two? How can we implement the two? Because understanding is only the very first part. It's the implementation that is absolutely important in all of our lives. Otherwise, information really means nothing if we cannot understand, comprehend it, and implement it. This is where I think we as Hindus need to be able to stand up more proudly and be able to take this responsibility onto ourselves, but with a smile, not as if it's a burdensome problem on our shoulders. So I want to say right now that sometimes the interaction may be a little bit controversial, means that it can possibly be comments or thought processes that may instigate something in you that may not sit very well. It is okay. It really is okay. Let us use every platform we have as empowered men and women, Hindu men and women, empowered Hindu men and women, to use whatever platforms we have to engage with each other and to try to figure out, is this real? What is real? And what is the direction we are moving into? I think this is really important for us as proudly practicing Hindu women and men, for example. Now, I want to just say very briefly, I am fourth generation South African, fourth generation proudly South African Hindu woman. I don't just speak as if I am Hindu. I try to make sure that in every aspect of my life, I live the dharmic principles that I'm so blessed to be able to receive. And I want to also say that you have welcomed me into Shaka this afternoon. I'm so grateful for that. At least through technology, I was able to raise the Dwaja in Bharat Mata. Thank you very, very much for that. So when we say that I'm a proudly practicing Hindu, what does it actually mean? Yes, I take my inspiration from the very land that you are born and raised in. I am born and raised in South Africa, 4 generations, but I'm currently working and living in the United Arab Emirates. How does all of this make sense to this woman living here? How do I live and still embody the Dharma that has been passed down from our gods and goddesses, saints and sages and swaminis, and our revered teachers that are currently working and living and walking all around us? How do we also understand the role that individuals, brave individuals like Narendra Modi ji, like Mohanji Bhagwat ji, Mananiya Mohanji Bhagwat, Mananiya Shantaka ji, Mananiya Pramila Taiji Mere, Mananiya Annadanam ji, Sitanadanam ji, how do we understand their thinking? How do we understand their heart? And how do we feel what they feel to still be able to live the kind of life as proud practicing Hindus? This is where I think emotions come in a very, very strong way. You and I as young individuals young and fresh in our minds, need to be able to understand that we need to be reflective people. So one of the important things about emotional intelligence is being solidly reflective. Now, I want us to very quickly play a game with me. So please indulge me. You're not going to be sitting down all the time, so you have to indulge me. I want you to very quickly take your hand, right hand, please. Place it over your forehead and repeat after me. Out of my mind. Open your mics, please. Out of my mind.
Out of my mind.
Now place it over your heart.
Place it over your heart.
And into my heart.
And into my heart.
One more time. Out of my mind.
Out of my mind.
And into my heart.
And into my heart.
Fantastic. So immediately we are resetting our focus, that we have all this beautiful information. but we want to be able to internalize the information in our heart and be able to hopefully then practice it on our into our daily lives. So I want to say again, sometimes the information can be controversial. Sometimes it may affect you that, why is she saying this? Please forgive me, but let us use this opportunity to empower each other so that we actually are living our very best life. For me, that is the ultimate responsibility of being a proudly practicing Hindu woman, to live my best life, because I have been inspired by such a grand lineage. I have been inspired by gods and goddesses, 33 billion. How more can I not, why should I be dormant in this life? Why should I just, have a Kumbhakaran slumber for my entire life duration? Why? So let's use this as inspiration that we are born Hindu. What does it mean? For me, it means understanding your emotion, the attachment to that, understanding the thought processes of all the proud individuals before us, and even those that are currently living with us. One just has to look at our RSS Adhikaris, such inspirational individuals, still living in Kali Yuga, still living in 21st century, still living with so much difficulties, still living during COVID, but not being dormant. They are not dormant. They are not in a slumber. They are still actively involved, actively engaging in their lives. And our lives are benefiting because of this. And this is what I want to be able to share with you this afternoon and your evening in Bharat at the moment. So the first question I will ask you is, what does Dharma mean? Can anybody tell me what Dharma means? Anybody? What does Dharma mean to you? Anyone? Okay, why are you Hindu? What makes you Hindu? Anyone? No? Okay, let's try. Maybe you're just shy for now, and that's okay. For me, Dharma means me being able to resolve. That means to commit. I have to resolve. I have to make the commitment that I am going to live my best life. That means I am truly going to be able to use all that is blessed upon me from my Dharma, from the thousands of years of ancient, beautiful, majestic knowledge. I am going to take whatever information that I can understand well enough, and I'm going to empower myself to live with compassion, to live virtuously, to live majestically. If one has to look at every single picture of our gods and goddesses, if I have to ask you now, can anybody tell me which is their favorite? I know we shouldn't actually say this, but which is your favorite goddess or god for that matter? Anyone? Don't be shy. We have our favorites. Yes?
Ram. Lord Rama.
Shri Ram, Shri Ram. Okay. Can I ask you another question? Who is speaking to me? Is it Madhviji?
Aditi Raj.
Aditi Raj. Aditi ji, can you tell me, when you look at a picture of Shri Ram, okay, what do you feel when you look at the picture of Shri Ram?
I'll feel inspired. Or
you feel inspired?
Yeah.
What does inspired mean? That's such a powerful word, but what does it mean?
He built a bridge for Sita. He built a bridge for Sita.
He built a bridge for Mata Sita, yes. So you feel inspired by his actions?
He followed his father's words.
Followed his father's words. Wow, one of the important teachings of our Dharma. One of the important is to be able to look at mom and dad as guru, first guru, the living guru that's in front of you. And Sri Ram embodied that. Very nice. Okay. Can I ask anybody else? When you look at your favorite god or goddess, what do you see?
My favorite god is Krishna, and my name is Riddhi Patel.
Namaste, Riddhi ji. Yes.
My favorite is Lord Krishna, and what thing he inspires me is He is an embodiment of Dharma. Dharma lives in him. And for me, Dharma is just a 5 words. That 5 words gives a path of a whole life. The 5 words are truth, knowledge, justice, dedication, and love.
Wow. Well done. Well done. How
A lot.
amazing. What a beautiful sum up. Fantastic.
A lot.
I think we should end this webinar now because you have given it to us.
Thank you.
How amazing. I love it. How old are you? May I ask?
I'm 16 years old.
Bravo. Well done. Okay. So the reason I asked, when you look at a goddess or a god, an image, the one that we see in our shrines or in the calendars or wherever, what is it that you see? Do you see a god who's so lazy? He's sad. Do you see him angry?
No, there is no god. There is no god sitting that way.
Yeah.
Everybody has fought for Dharma. Not even a single god sat us simply. Everybody has fought for Dharma.
Well done. Well done. So the idea is that we can take inspiration by just observing an image, just observing a picture, okay? That if we look at the face, look at the body posture, it is about movement. It's about surrender and move. Use the knowledge. Get into the vibrational frequency of that image that's giving you. What is the vibration that they are sharing with us? Okay? So Dharma for me means that you and I have to be able to, in some way, and I'm so blessed that the conversation that you are sharing with me now is so inspiring because you know it. You know it. Okay? But now let's look at us living now in this heart of Kali Yuga, living now during COVID times, living now with so many atrocities going on. How can you and I take the responsibility and help be the solution for our Dharma to be sustained? Because Dharma is not only information. Dharma is about finding the information to resolve, to live a committed life, to live a passionate life, to live a life of compassion. Dharma means that if I am well, I should ensure that you too are well. That's what it is. That's the reason why we go to Shaka. We go to be inspired. We go to rejuvenate ourselves, that I can do some more, not only for me, but also for the rest of humanity. Okay? And when I'm doing this for the rest of humanity, my life is also progressing because we do not live in isolation. Nobody is living alone. If I'm improving in my life, you are also improving in your life. If you understand things and if you share it, and it's good information that it can inspire, you are going to improve in terms of your vibrations to the earth, and I will automatically improve with my vibrations into the earth. And this is what Dharma means for me. This is what being Hindu means for me. Okay? That we have to resolve to be able to live the most powerful life, because there is no coincidence that you and I are born Hindu. Understand that? Do you accept that? There is no coincidence that you and I are born Hindu. So how are we going to live this? What are we going to do about it? Okay? This is something that I want us to be able to really take back. And this is one of the main reasons why I applaud our Samiti Adhikaris, our Sangha Adhikaris, and Om Prakashji with the fantastic relationship that we share. It's alive, relationships that are alive, constantly empowering each other, inspiring each other to live better, to do better. So when I am well, you are also well. Okay? So for me, the understanding about Dharma is that we need to be able to accept and acknowledge that we have to resolve to live our best life, a life that's sustainable, that even when we die, life is still moving on. There is still a ticking of life. Even when we physically die, life is still moving because we have played our role in sustaining that which is good for all humanity. You and I, the same way that recently we had the coronation service of Chhatrapati Shivaji. Why are we remembering him? Why do we remember Jhansi Ki Rani? Why? Why do we remember these bold, beautiful individuals? Because even though they have physically died, their vibrations of strength and the embodiments of divine are still being carried on through me, through you, through many other thousands and millions of Hindus all over that have settled all over the world. But the key for today's discussion is understand this emotion, but don't just let it sit with you. Understand it and try to live the emotion. So I'm going to now go to the second part of this afternoon or evening's conversation, which is about emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? And I want you to see how this fits in so neatly with how I understand Dharma to be and how I understand emotional intelligence to be. So emotional intelligence literally is about the ability to be able to be so aware, to understand, to be able to comprehend, and then to be able to apply. This is the trick. To be aware, to comprehend and understand, but the third important thing is to be able to implement. So the same thing is linked with Dharma. We have all the information that's filtered down through to us. We get it, we understand it. We can even comprehend it, how beautifully the two Sevikas were able to comprehend that. Now, the question we need to ask ourselves is, are we implementing? Are we living? Or how are we doing that? Okay, this is the next part. Now, why is emotional intelligence so powerful? Because when I am aware of who I am as a person, when I am aware of what I bring to the world, when I am aware from where I come as a Hindu woman, it should give me a sense of pride. It should be able to give me a sense of determination that says that even though there are so many challenges that I am dealing with, that you may be dealing with, that our parents, our children, our community is dealing with, even though all of these things are happening, I still have within me, and I still am the embodiment of that divine. All I need to do as a Hindu is to be able to tap into that and start mastering it in the second part of emotional intelligence, which is creating solid relationships. So emotional intelligence, the first part is self-awareness. And the second part is about self-regulatory behaviors. Self-regulatory behaviors means I am now going to understand my role so well, and I'm going to regulate my behavior. Because change starts with me. I can give you the best conversation. You can share with me the best information. It really would mean nothing if you and I do not understand and accept that if in order for anything to change in the world, it has to start with you understanding that you are the agent of change. You are the solution because of all the divine that flows through you. It's the acceptance of that awareness and now starting to remember it and live it. So these are the two main important, of course, emotional intelligence is such a big topic and I love it. I'm passionate about it. And I'm Hindu, I'm passionate about being Hindu. And it's broad topics. But for today's conversation, I want to be able to just reignite our understanding of what Dharma is. I want to reignite our understanding of emotional intelligence. Two aspects. The first one is on self-awareness, and the second one is on when I am aware, I have to be able to regulate, means change my behavior. If I am aware of something, I must be able to question, is this information something that I can use and implement? Am I going to be compassionate to myself? Am I going to be compassionate to others? Because our Dharma is a compassionate religion. There is no way in our Dharma do they ever speak up only about me. No, it's always about Vasudeva Kutunga. The whole world is one family. Yes? So this is what we need to remember about how I understand emotional intelligence and Dharma. And this is where I want to now have you ask or open the floor to any specific questions on how we can truly empower ourselves and live using emotions effectively. If you have any questions on this, I'd like to open the floor now, please. Any questions on this?
Hello. I have a question.
Yes, please introduce your name. I can't hear clearly at the moment.
I am Ruby Patel.
Yes,
so,
namaste.
Namaste. As you said, the self-regulation and self-awareness are the two important points of EQs or emotional intelligence.
Yes.
So every person has a little bit of EQ in themselves. So what are the signs? How could we know that we have EQ in ourselves? What are the signs?
Wow, I am loving this. I really am loving this conversation. Thank you so much. Om Prakashji, you have done a great service to me today by introducing me to all these brilliant minds.
Thanks,
well done. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks.
Yes. So what does it mean? How do I know? You know, that's why I started by explaining that I am a proudly practicing Hindu woman. Immediately, I gave myself permission to say that if I'm a proudly practicing Hindu woman, means I'm a compassionate person, because my dharma is compassionate. Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the whole world is one big family. Yes? So that means automatically I understand that I have a place in the world and you equally have a place in the world. That means I have a responsibility to myself to live dharmically, to live well. And as Aditi ji mentioned, the 5 important points. How do I know? By observing people living through those 5 points. Aditi ji, can you help me again with your 5 points on dharma?
Sorry, it was Riddhi. The 5 points of dharma are knowledge, truth, justice, dedication, and love.
Correct. So knowledge and truth. How would you see if someone has knowledge and truth? Anybody? Rani ji, help me out, please. I can see you listening so attentively. I would say.
Say your question again.
If they know, Didi ji, namaskar Didi ji. If they have so much knowledge about one thing, that means they know so many things about a particular thing. That you can say that he's having that much knowledge in that topic or subject, whatever it may be.
Correct.
Yes. If any work is done by him or her, okay, with correctly, promptly, without having any knowledge of that means he should get something from that. If he is not having that thing, that means he is having that much dedication. That means he is not accepting any praise or reward, something. But he should or she should do activity or any work in such a way that that work should be useful to society.
Correct. Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Deep. Okay. So how do we get the knowledge and information? Let's be practical, okay? Knowledge and information, first for me as a Hindu, where does it start? It starts in my home. First, it starts in my home. It starts with my mother and my father. And I've been very blessed in that sense that I have parents who are active Hindus themselves, living Hindus themselves. So I'm blessed with that understanding first by watching individuals who I trust and value model good behavior. The knowledge is first coming by observation for me. I'm using me as an example, that I'm able to observe somebody model good behavior, behavior that is wholesome, behavior that doesn't stop anybody, leave anybody out. No, behavior that builds. Okay, so it first starts in our home. Secondly, we are going to satsang. Thirdly, you and I are blessed that we have been attending Shaka. You are even more blessed because you are born in it. I've only introduced to Shaka in 1993 in South Africa. Okay, so you are exposed to Shaka. In Shaka, just standing in front of the Dwaj, I mean, I can't even express to you standing here right now in the UAE, experiencing the Dwaj being raised in Bharat, how phenomenal and how profound an experience it is for me. That alone can tell you, I am a Sevika, a proud Sevika. Okay? So we need to be able to develop that emotion by allowing ourselves the opportunity to be aware of those things that are happening around us and take it in. Be a sponge for that kind of information. Right now we go to YouTube, we're watching television, we're watching all of these series and what have you. We are becoming sponges for all the unnecessary things. Be selective in what you want and how you want, because think firstly, my dharma is to build. How would I build? By being selective on what kind of emotion I want to maintain in my body. So taking information and inspiration first from our home, from our shaka, from our satsangs, from the elderly people in our home. You know what? There's a beautiful quotation that says the elderly folk are a world of information. And that is the honest truth. They have seen what you and I could not have experienced or seen. Let us humble ourselves and sit at their feet and talk to me. Talk to me. How has life been? What are the lessons you learned? Share with me. There is such profound information by us speaking to our grandmoms, our granddads, speaking to our Aji Ajas, speaking to the local community members who are living on their own. Go out and engage conversations with them. Open your heart, open your mind for this kind of information. This is how knowledge will flow. So the first thing is about knowledge. And then, of course, I am a big proponent of girl-child education. Every single girl child must be educated to the highest that they can. I will do whatever needs to be done to make sure that girls are educated academically. The more smarter academic girls we have, the more powerful we are to play the role in society. Because information should be solid information and should be able to flow from us, because we carry the generation with us. We are creators. Yes? So if I'm a mother creator in my home, I need to be aware, what information am I going to share with my children? Okay? So get yourself educated, be observant, and then live the truth. So Aditi ji mentioned knowledge and truth. Two things. Very, very important. Any other questions? Have I answered the question?
Kiran, Nishita.
Any other questions?
Please respond.
Okay, let me share with you a very quick story. I think you know the story, but I will share with you anyhow. For those of us that know it, let's just use it as a reflection. You know the story of the man and the lantern? Anybody knows the story of the man and the lantern? Yes? So there were two best friends, and they were right in the heart of the jungle. And the one friend was completely blind, okay? And they stayed together, they ate together in the evening. And the next evening, the friend who was blind said, listen, I need to now go back to my home. So the other friend said, you know what? It's very dark. Take this lantern with you. And he lit the lantern and he had his friend carry this lantern with him. The blind friend says, I am blind. Why would I need a lantern? The friend who with good eyesight said, it's not for you, it's for others. It's not for you, it's for others. That's the first part. So this guy with the lantern, and he's blind and it's really dark. Now he is walking through the forest to get to his home. It's not a big deal because he's done that route many times, so he can comfortably do it. Okay? As he was walking, he suddenly stumbled. Unfortunately, he stumbled and he fell. When he fell, he was lying on the floor, and then suddenly somebody tapped him on the shoulder and tried to help him up. He said, I don't need your help. Why are you helping me? I have a lantern to help me. He didn't want to let the guy even know that he was blind. The guy who came to help him said, sir, have you not noticed that the lantern you are carrying is actually off. It has no more light. So for me, this means, and of course, there's many translations to the story. This means, firstly, number one, we have to be the light, sometimes not only for ourselves, but for all those around us. Number two, we have to also be so powerful individuals to constantly be reflective, to think about, is my light still switched on? Or am I assuming that the lantern that I'm carrying is still lit? We need to be responsible and reflective Hindus. Take what is going on in the world and be discerning about exactly what we are going to assimilate into our lives and make it work for yourself. I hope that story was at least a little bit effective. Ma Sarojaji, I see you are listening there so beautifully. Namaskar, Ma. Can you share any of your thoughts with us?
नमस्ते दीदी।
Namaskar.
समझ में तो बहुत आता है, लेकिन अभी तो सेविका समिति से जो इन्फॉर्मेशन अपन लेते हैं, तो मैं तो हार्ट से लेती हूँ।
हाँ,
आप जो बोल रहे ना, पूरा समझना और इसमें भर लेना और उसको अपन क्या करना, बाहर करना काम कर्म। हाँ,
you know, Mananiya Sita Didi Annadanam said to me many years ago when we were in Bharat Varga, she said, Sarisha, the only thing that works is work. She said, work works. And I always remember in my mind that in order for anything to happen, you have to do it. Work works. Work works. That's it. Yes.
Work works. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sarojaji. Namaskar.
Namaste.
Okay. Om Prakashji,
Akka,
how are we done for time, Ji?
we have remained 20 minutes, Akka.
We have? Wow.
20 minutes.
Okay.
No problem. Please continue.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit now about why people don't want to practice good emotions. I will ask you a question, okay? And I want you to please don't be shy. I want you to answer as your heart understands it. There's no right or wrong answer. Can anybody give me an example today? Okay. How were you feeling today? What is the emotion that you felt today?
I'm Aditi Raj.
Namaskar, Aditi. Ji.
I feel so excited today for the meeting.
Oh, thank you. But I'm speaking about in the day, through whatever you were dealing with today, okay? How did you feel? What were you dealing with and how did it make you feel? Some of you are going to campus, you're going to school, or you are online working with your teachers, or you are in the family with husbands and children, or your experiences that you are having, how did it make you feel? Anybody experience anger?
Palaka, please respond.
Akka, namaste. Akka, namaste. Akka, Didi, this during COVID time, we felt so many times. So what is going on? What is going on in this world? So many people, they're dying. Okay, so many poor people. So in our family also,
Yes.
we lost some of the people, and
Yes.
in my friends also. So I felt very sad for that. But so I felt that if I'm good or I'm healthy, I will not be happy. If all people around me, if they are good only, then only we get happiness. So during this past 1 year, so many thoughts are just like that only. So when this COVID will go, and when our world will be free from that, even though we are staying at home, but we are not happy because I'm a teacher, Akka. I'm a teacher, Didi. So I lost so much time with my children. That means I cannot teach my children because this year I was at home only, but I am not satisfied. Okay, that means I am not in a happy mood because so much worries. I saw so many things, bad things around me, and I talked to so many people. What is going on? I came to know only that one, but I cannot do any help. Only just talking and asking how they are, just like only. Only small helps I can do, that much only, but I cannot do a lot of things. Even though, so all these are the thoughts, and I came to know one thing, that if this problem will go, no, then all will be happy, and all people, they'll be very happy, I think. So all the thoughts are around COVID only.
Yes.
Around COVID only.
Raniji, or whatever you have said is so real. You have owned up to your emotions. The first most powerful thing about us and emotions is that when we are experiencing a particular emotion, whether it is sadness, whether it is joy, whether it is anger or fear or despondency, we are actually experiencing our reality. And that means we are now needing to acknowledge our reality. Don't push it under the carpet. Understand, this is COVID. It is during COVID. I myself have lost my father in January this year. I have lost my best friend in May this year. I have lost my mama in December. Each one of us can go on and on and on about this loss of physical life during this COVID time. So how do you feel emotionally? We have to own it because it's our reality. Don't push it under the carpet. Deal with the emotion that I'm feeling really sad, that I'm feeling really despondent, I'm feeling hopeless. I feel, why must I be happy when everybody around me is not? Or how can I go on constantly afraid and fearful for my children or fearful for my family and friends and society? Very real emotion. So I thank you for that. Very proud question, profound question and observation. Well done. Thank you. How do we respond to this? Number one, whatever the emotion is, we respond to it by knowing that, listen, this emotion is real for me. Therefore, I have to own it. The emotion is real for me. Therefore, I have to own it. And when I own it, I want to go through it. In order for us to get to the other side, we have to go through it. In order for us to get to something, we have to go through something. Can we understand that? In order for us to go somewhere, we have to go through it. Okay? And I know in my heart of hearts, because I'm born as Hindu, because there are millions of examples of brave Hindu men and women who have equally been through the most challenging hardships in their lives, and still they stood the test of time, so that you and I can be born in this Dharma and start to practice it more fully in our lives. I started this conversation with the perfect examples, I believe, of our adhikaris who are living here right now, also dealing with COVID. I mean, when Mananiya Mohanji was diagnosed as COVID positive, my heart sunk. I was like, Swami, please. You know what? What did he do? He did exactly what has been proposed to all of us, to live through it, to go through it, by understanding and accepting that as individuals, Shaka, 4 areas of development. The one is the physical development. I have to live because I have to live well for my family. I have to live because it's not only about me. I have a bigger purpose in the world. So even though that this is going on around me, I have to be able to do something better. We have to change the mindset. Does it happen overnight? No. And it doesn't have to happen overnight. Small little steps. We don't have to cross the mountain in one leap. Pebble by pebble. Pebble by pebble. Okay? So be aware that the beautiful thing about attending Shaka is we're always speaking, the Shaka structure is such that there's always 4 areas of development. Physical development, make ourselves fit, make ourselves healthy, not only for me, but also for my family, my society, my community, and ultimately whatever and whoever I am, ripple effects into the world. So I am creating a positive world vibration. I am increasing the vibration of the world because of my actions. Secondly, during COVID, what is the most powerful thing to be doing? Developing spiritually, because we have to surrender. I don't have any control. I can't say who's going to get it, who's not. I mean, the last 5-month experiences were extremely painful and hurtful for me. What is the for me, the panacea? What is the solution? Surrender some more. Surrender some more. You are in charge. You are in charge. So give me that Shakti. I am Nari Shakti. Let me start to live it. Don't just speak it. Let me start to live it. How do I do it? Calmly. I don't need to be pataka all the time. I can do it calmly by understanding that it's a process. I can attend Shaka, online Shaka, physical Shaka, of course, following COVID protocols, and making sure that I am reminding myself of the symbol of the Dwaj when I'm there. What does this Dwaj represent? Is this Dwaj now only 10 years, 20 years, 100 years? The Dwaj symbolizes immortality forever and ever and ever. So who am I to play small because of COVID only now? I'm not dismissing the impact of COVID. Please understand that. But in the bigger perspective, take this as an opportunity for us to develop spiritually and surrender to this power. Emotionally, grieve. Grieve. Don't be afraid to grieve. Be honest with your emotions. I can't even tell you what happened to me in January when I lost my mama, who is my favorite uncle. I mean, I know we're not supposed to have favorite uncles, but he's my favorite uncle. And my dad, my lifeline in this birth. So the most powerful thing is to own the emotion. Except I am really hurting right now. This feels really bad. And go out and step out of it. You know, there's a wonderful thing that I always practice. And I'm very grateful for this practice. It's a 5-second rule. I don't know if you know it, but I will share it with you. Because even now, I learned this year, I think maybe over 25, 26 years ago, when I was reading one of the books. And it says, whenever you are dealing with something that you are not sure about how to respond, in that moment, say to yourself, okay, go through it. If I'm sad, I'm really hurting. I'm not happy. I'm sad about it. I'm angry about this. Whatever the emotion is. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get out. Done. I'm done with the emotion. Literally take charge. Change the mindset. Take charge. I do this often in the mornings because I wake up at 3:30. And sometimes when I go to bed late, because I love journaling, when I go to bed late, the 3:30, comes and I say, oh, I don't want to do this. Immediately I say to myself, stop it. Stop it. We are working with a vision in mind. We are working with a dream. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I step out of my bed. I just get out of the bed. And as soon as you create a new momentum, you are creating a new action, a new physical force is happening. Your body automatically has to adjust and your mind has to adjust. And then immediately I go and put on my mantras. So everything is now cooperating with me. Okay? Little tricks that we need to do, but can practice consistently. And then the fourth one, of course, is cognitive development. So physical development, spiritual development, emotional development, and the fourth area is cognitive development. Cognitive development means again and again, use our scriptural references, know our scriptures, know also information, academic information. Become so smart in your academic work that people will be very nervous to just throw anything at you because you are a thinker. Very sad reality is when we are not able to think and reflect and question, this is when people take advantage of us. Swami Vivekananda says so beautifully and so boldly, take one idea and be bold and fearless and live it through. We don't have to save the whole world. If you are doing your bit, I'm doing my bit, she's doing her bit, together, collectively, we are ultimately changing the frequency of the world to a better place. But it has to start with one individual realizing and accepting my role. And for me, reminding myself all the time, do you know what is the best part of why I'm always going to be a winner? It's because I'm Hindu. I have a legacy of greatness. It's the responsibility of me to be able to call on that, understand it, become aware of it, create an emotion with it, and implement it into my daily life. This is the ultimate clue, and this is the ultimate wave in which we need to create in the world, that even though we're going through COVID right now, by practicing all of these things in the calm, quiet, confident way that we can as women, as men, we are able to improve not only what's going on around us, but we are easily able to navigate this COVID experience that we're all dealing with. Nobody is isolated from COVID. It's open to every one of us. But how you and I respond to it is the most important thing. Is that okay, Raniji?
Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad.
I know there's no quick fix solutions, and I'm being brave when I'm speaking to you, because I also understand the emotion of loss and fear. But if you are going to do from your side and I'm going to do from my side, together we are going to be stronger. Any other questions?
Yes. I'm Riddhi Patel. So now question is, how can we teach our Hindu women who aren't known about this emotional intelligence? Because some religious groups which threatens the Hindu woman cause of their religion, how will emotional intelligence help to overcome that situation? How can we teach? Is this a subject to be taught in the schools? So it will be great thing if it will be taught in the schools.
Of course, but yes, it can be taught. But the most beautiful thing is people will be attracted to you because of the behavior that you model, right? Yes, Riddhiji?
Yes, behavior shows up everything.
Of course, because my behavior shows my attitude. Okay, number one is the information that we get, the information that we receive, the awareness that it impacts on us, the heart that we bring to this awareness. And then the next part is it creates an attitude. This information, this emotion creates an attitude. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. And then where does the attitude express itself? In our
Behavior.
In the body. The attitude is expressed in the body. But what is the attitude? The attitude is from what we have understood, what we've internalized, and what we have understand, what we accept as our emotion that we want to now be able to communicate with the world. And how will we communicate it? Via using our bodies. So this is, one of the most powerful things is role modeling behavior. So earlier I mentioned that for me, parenting, I do really, workshops on parenting. I always start off by saying that parenting is not for the faint-hearted. Parenting is not for the faint-hearted. This means that you have such a bigger role than just providing financial services to your children or providing a shelter to your child. Okay, so the first point I want to reiterate and affirm is role model behavior. But then again, it doesn't only have to be with our adults in the community. I don't think that maturity is chronological. I don't think that maturity is chronological. Sometimes we get people who have aged, beautifully in age, but they don't have the same level of maturity. So role modeling behavior doesn't only have to come from those individuals who are older to us. It can equally come from you as a child in the home, by changing the mind that I want to live as a practicing Hindu female, as a practicing Hindu man, and change the behavior, change the attitude by learning more, by allowing your emotions to develop that, wow, did Jhansi Ki Rani really do that? Oh my God, who is Shivaji? Who is this? Who is Mananiya Shantakaji? Why are they doing these things for us? What should I do? What is my role? Who is Ma'am Narendra Modi ji? Why is this individual self-sacrificing for us? Why? Okay, take the inspiration from there and model the behavior in your shakas that you are attending, the adhikaris in your shaka, the shikshaks in your shaka. Be open, remove any ego from yourself, remove any judgments that we may have, and just be open to, wow, you bring such a beautiful quality to the world, and take only that. Let me very quickly play a game with you, all of you. Om Prakashji, can I see everyone on the screen, please?
Okay.
Okay. Can I see everybody on the screen? Fantastic, thank you. Right, so we're going to play a very quick game, and this is how the game goes. I'm going to ask all of you right now, okay? I want you to please do this. If you have to stand up and in your area, if you have to do it, please oblige me and do this, okay? This is what we're going to do. I want you to stand up now and walk around in that room that you are in, and I want you to see as many things that are in blue color. Please stand up. I want you to walk around in your room and identify as many things in that room that are in the color blue. Blue. Fantastic. Thank you. Come back to us now. Right, I'm going to choose Divya ji. How many blue things are in your room? Cannot hear you. Unmute.
Only one thing I have, ma'am.
Blue?
Textbook.
Is it
Blue,
blue?
yes, ma'am.
So there's no
Yes,
other
ma'am.
blue things in your room?
Present, only one thing.
Okay,
Two
fantastic.
things, ma'am. Bed.
Bed. Thank you. Om Prakash ji, how many blue things are in your room? Okay. Who would like to answer? How many blue things are in your room? Anybody? Nishita ji?
5.
5?
Yes.
Okay. Can you name them for me?
Book, mask, building, sky,
Fifth one?
and jeans pant.
And jeans pants. Okay, fantastic. So now I'm going to ask you, Nishita ji, can you tell me how many yellow things are in your room?
One.
One?
Yeah.
Only one?
Yeah.
You sure?
2.
2? Check one
In
more
flag.
time. One more time.
In building.
Ah, fantastic. Next one, Divya ji, how many yellow things are in your room?
Hello, thing. One, ma'am.
1? Okay. This is the point of this quick game. Energy flows where our attention goes. Energy flows where our attention goes. This means when I directed your mind and I said, can you identify the blue things in your room? All you were doing, you were using all of your 5 senses and you were looking for the blue things. So the energy flowed. I directed your energy only onto the blue things. Now I quickly asked you, can you tell me where the yellow things are? How many yellow things are? And stumbled. Wow, yellow? 1. Oh, maybe 2. Suddenly you are now thinking something different. Yes, like that, we have to know that our emotions, by understanding that external things can control our emotions, can control our mind, we need to become masters of it by being self-aware of ourselves and our environments. We focus on what we are seeing and what we are hearing and what we are thinking of. So you can change what you want to focus on. You can change what you want to focus on and thereby become masters of your own life by living fully and living well. Okay? Any final questions?
Yes.
Yes.
My name is Nishita.
Namaste.
With the help of emotional intelligence, can we attract other religion people towards Hinduism?
Look, the bee doesn't have to tell the fly that there's honey there. Are you listening to what I'm saying? The bee does not have to tell the fly that there's honey there. Yes? Tell me you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's it. That's it. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Myself, Tanvi. My question is that our Hindus only are unable to believe in our Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana. They insult these both great books. So how can we make them believe that this is not myth?
I don't want to be cliched. I don't want to keep repeating myself and sounding like there's nothing else that she knows. The truth is this. Let's use an example with my relationship with Om Prakashji. Om Prakashji and we've never met each other. But I have observed his character. He has observed my character. He has observed the way we function, the persons that we are, and we have known that our vision and our goal is the same. I am born and brought up in South Africa, living in the UAE. He is in Bharat. But we have been attracted because we have been modeling the kind of behavior that is fulfilling the goal and vision that we want to live our lives with. Really, without even wanting to keep talking about, very serious academic ways in which we can do it. It starts literally with you taking up one major idea from our Dharma and practicing it so well in your life that when people see you, they know that you are the ambassador of your Dharma. Whether it's through the Ramayana that you are practicing, whether it is the Bhagavad Gita you are practicing, the Tirukkural, whatever it is, of the grand scriptural text that we have, whatever the text is, take something, understand it, process it, become so aware of it, know the vision in which you want to live your life, and start to create the emotion of, I have something to do that's far more important and invaluable to the world. And the fact that I'm living this ordained life means I can do it. Take that idea, in the words of Swami Vivekananda, take the idea, that one idea, and live it. Become the ambassador of being Hindu. Become the ambassador of being Hindu. This way, those that need to see you would see you. Those that would need to understand you would understand you. And those that would want to be drawn to you will naturally be drawn to you. There is no question about it. I mean, we choose the kind of things that we want to be involved in. So now be clear about what is it that you want to be involved in. Are we with me? Are you with me?
I didn't get you.
Thank you. So I can't change you, but I can change me. So I can attend Shaka, I can read the scriptures in Shaka or in Satsang or from my mother or from my father or from the learned people in my community. And I can take an idea of being a Hindu. What does it mean for me to be Hindu? How can I be that? And in every aspect of my life, I can start to live that and make it real, become alive. Don't just say, Garva se kaho hum Hindu hai. Ha, I'm very proud Hindu. No, that's only the first step. That's only the first step. The second most important step is practicing Hindu, living Hindu, being resolving to live the best life, because this is what Hindus do. This is what Hinduism is about. It's the Dharma that talks of living, how to live, and embody the qualities that you want to embody. Next question.
Who inspired you to research about emotional intelligence?
I'm addict when it comes to knowledge. You know what? I am at the moment relocating from Abu Dhabi back to South Africa. And I tell you, you know, normally they would say girls in their apartment will have all fancy things and what have you. I am sitting with 9 boxes of books. 9 boxes of books that has to be now shipped to my home country, because that's how I want to use my time. I want to empower myself. I read on emotional intelligence. I read on relational intelligence. I read on spiritual intelligence. I read on cognitive intelligence, IQ. I read on Hindu Dharma. I read about Hindus throughout the world. I read about empowered women. I read about Western empowerment ideas. And I use all of that, and I try to understand myself. I observe my adhikaris. I observe my mother and father. I observe the women that I surround myself with. I observe the children that I get blessed to work with. I use all of that, and I try to be alive in my day-to-day. I try to be alive, because when we die, we will be asleep. Enough time to sleep then. Okay? So in the 24 hours that you are blessed with, inspire yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to inspire you. Even today, whatever we are sharing may be good information, but it really means nothing if you are not going to change your mind or adjust your mind that I want to do more, that I can do more, I must do more. And it doesn't have to be big things. Start with small little steps, but make it consistent steps. Make it consistent enough that you know the mountain that needs to be crossed over. I'm going to start at the bottom of the hill, the bottom of the mountain, the small little pebble. I'm going to start there, small little baby steps. And this is how you're going to be able to get to the other side, by inspiring yourself. You don't need constantly everybody else to tell you what to do, how to do. Here, surrender. Okay, I am going to end the session with 6 important words that I really find very profound, and I think is very important for us to remember. Perhaps you can recall the session through these 6 words. So I firstly want to ask you to raise your hand for me and place your 6 fingers up for me, please. Okay, first word, I want you to repeat the first word for me. Consciously.
Consciously.
Second word, communicate.
Communicate.
Care. Celebrate.
Celebrate.
Commitment.
Commitment.
Continuously.
Continuously.
Right, one more time. Please pay attention, all of us. The 6 fingers up. First word, consciously.
Consciously.
Communicate.
Communicate.
Care.
Care.
Celebrate.
Celebrate.
Commitment.
Commitment.
And the last one, continuously.
Continuously.
So how do I live as a proudly practicing Hindu woman? By making sure that I am conscious, that I am living in awareness, that I am aware. Secondly, by communicating that to all the others around me, by role modeling the emotion, role modeling the behavior, role modeling the attitude. So I am communicating that. Remember, one other important thing that in our lives, you and I can be creators or we can be destroyers. What is it that we choose to do? So the first C, conscious decision. The second C is to be able to communicate with full awareness of who I am, where I come from. Always surrender to where you come from. Okay? The third C, to care. Care is such a powerful emotion. I care enough for me to live my best life. I care enough for you to live your best life. So if I am going to do what I need to do to live well, it's going to ripple effect onto you, because you and I are in the same energy field. You and I are living in the same environment. What I do impacts on you. What you do impacts on me. So I'm going to choose to live well. The fourth one is to celebrate. I never miss an opportunity to celebrate being Hindu. That's why I love our festivals. Celebrate your life. Take the small positive things. Take the small wins. Don't be afraid and say, I'm right in the heart of COVID now. I have people who have passed on. I don't have anything to celebrate. That's so wrong. We have so much to celebrate. The fact that you and I are up to date. The fact that we have family members who are still fighting a good fight. The fact that we have people around us who are willing to step up and do more. That is something that we should celebrate. The fact that I am born Hindu is a celebration. The fact that I have the opportunity to connect with somebody from a different world altogether is worthy of celebration altogether. And the last two, which I think is really important, commitment and continuously. I have to make a commitment to do these things. It can't be that today I met this lady Sarisha. She said some nice things, so I think I will do it. Then tomorrow you will say, oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to remember what she said. It doesn't work like that. We have to make a commitment to change, and then we have to do it consistently, continuously. We have to decide to do it continuously, because if there is any change that is going to take place, it's going to take place because you and I have decided to change, because you and I have decided that we want to do something more, and we can. I can, and you can. And the bottom line is the fact that you and I are at this webinar today means that we are already solution focused. We are already agents of change. And I want to say thank you to each of you. Thank you to Prakashji, all the adhikaris present, and to all of the beautiful sevikas and Swayamsevak. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jai Bharat Mata.
Namaste, Sarita Devi. I'm Kalpana from Bharat. And actually, we already met in once earlier interaction. Today, I'm very much happy to see you again, and happy to be part in your interaction session. And today, you focused many things which we are facing, and whatever today is very essential to our sevikas and whoever, being a Hindu, how it is, how to face the, what are the challenges we are facing. And today you focused, and it's very nice, Didi. And today in our program, Vasu Anna is a Seva Bharati, Pranta Seva Pramukh is there with us, and let us meet him. Vasu Anna.
Namaste everybody.
Namaste.
I am Vasu. I am Pracharak last 31 years. I am now Telangana State Pranta Seva Pramukh. Thank you.
Thank you, Vasu Anna. Actually, today many people participated with this in today's session. Didi, you focused many things, and really emotional intelligence, how it works. I'm very much happy to hear those things. Being a Hindu, though you stayed at UAE and we are staying here, Bharat, this thing connected us. So the distance never
that is not the major thing for us. When we have that emotional equality, that makes us united today. And however, Didi, we are happy, and we are expecting one more session and in future. Maybe Om Prakash and here the team of Sevikas are planning virtual field trips in future, and we are expecting you, Didi. And whatever it may be, the knowledge is not limited. We can get many views from you, people like you. And we take many suggestions, and we would like to hear many stories from you also. And once again, thank you, Didi, for coming and sharing your valuable time with us, sparing your time with us. And we here also, we are participating daily Shaka. And you mentioned one thing I really I liked it very much, because being a Hindu is it's not a just statement, and practicing the Hindu culture and dharma in our day-to-day life is most important. Really, you mentioned in very nice way. Here are sevikas and also everybody, though they are younger and elder, and anybody can follow you those words. And definitely we practice, and we mention those things in our coming shakas also. Didi, thank you very much. And thank you one and all for participating, and all Om Prakash for arranging this nice session, and Aditi Raj and all the Sevikas also together worked a lot to invite you to make this program success. Once again, thank you one and all. Bharat Mata ki Jai. Jai Shri Ram.
I want to also say a special thank you to Aditi Raj ji, who was so beautiful and kind enough to put together that poster. I've not also met him, but immediately there was such beautiful connection, and he obliged. Thank you so much, Aditi Raj. I really appreciate it as well. And you know what? Let each of us just live being vibrant Hindus. That's it. Be vibrant in the way we look, in the way we speak, in the way we live. So when somebody thinks of Kalpana ji, when we think of Kalpana ji, we think of Om Prakash ji or anybody, we think that's what Hindu is. That's who Hindu is. Because we are the ambassadors of our Dharma. We are living it. So be vibrant Hindus. Thank you all. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Okay, Guru.
Continue.
Samiti Uttishta. Samiti Daksha. Samiti Rama. Samiti Daksha. Prardhana.
Namamo vayam matrubhu punyabhutvam.
Namamo vayam matrubhu punyabhutvam.
Tvaya vardita samskruta svachutah.
Tvaya vardhita samskruta swastutah.
Aye vatsale mangale hindu bhume.
Aye vatsale mangale hindu bhume.
Svayam jivitanyarpayama tvayi.
Svayam jivitanyarpayama tvayi.
Namo Vishwashakyai namaste namaste.
Namo Vishwashaktai namaste namaste.
Tvaya nirmitam hindurashtam mahat.
Tvaya nirmitam hindurashtam mahat.
Prasadat tavaivatra sajja sametya.
Prasadat travaivatra sajja sametya.
समालम्बितुं दिव्यमार्गं वयम्
समालम्बितुं दिव्यमार्गं वयम्
समुन्नामितं येन राष्ट्रं नयेतत्
समुन्नामितं येन राष्ट्रं नयेतत्
पुरो यस्य नम्रं समग्रं जगत्
पुरो यस्य नम्रं समग्रं जगत्
सदादर्शयुक्तं पवित्रं सतीत्वं
सदादर्शयुक्तं पवित्रं सदीत्वं
प्रियाभ्यः प्रयच्छाम्बते
प्रियाभ्यः प्रयच्छाम्बते
समुत्पादयास्मासु शक्तिं सुदिव्यां
समुत्पादयास्मासु शक्तिं सुदिव्यम्
दुराचार दुर्वृत्ति विध्वंसिनीं
दुराचार दुर्वृत्ति विध्वंसिनीम्
पिता पुत्र भ्रातृंश्च भर्तारमेवं
पिता पुत्र भ्रातृंश्च भर्तारमेवम्
सुमार्गं प्रति प्रेरयन्तीमिह
सुमार्गं प्रति प्रेरयन्तीमिह
सुशीला सुधीरा समर्था समेत्य
सुशीला सुधीरा समर्था समेत्य
स्वधर्मे स्वमार्गे परं श्रद्धया
स्वधर्मे स्वमार्गे परं श्रद्धया
वयं भावि तेजस्विराष्ट्रस्य धन्य
वयं भावि तेजस्विराष्ट्रस्य धन्या
जनन्यो भवेमेति देह्या
जनन्यो भवेमेति देयातिशम्।
भारत माता की जय।
भारत माता की जय।
ध्वज प्रणाम 1 2 3। ध्वज समिति वी किरा 1 2 3।
పూర్తయిన కార్యక్రమం పూర్తయిందని చెప్పేయండి. అక్క ధన్యవాద్. అందరికీ కార్యక్రమం పూర్తయింది. ఇంతటితో ముగిస్తుంది.